from Kevin Acee, and this was during this Philly series, about why Manny has not been able to perform up to the level of expectation offensively. He has not been hitting those pitches that he should be smashing. And AC brings up the example against Tyler McGill on Sunday, 96 belt high over the plate, right over the middle of the plate, and Manny fouls it back. 3 pitches later, fouled back. And that shouldn't be happening when it's Manny Machado. And Manny says, yeah, trust me, I'm feeling the same way, and I'm pissed at myself for missing those pitches. I learned not to show emotion. I've learned you've got to keep things in, except when the umpire calls a bad pitch on you. He's talking about when he got ejected. But I'm frustrated with missing those pitches. He threw me 2 pitches right down the middle, Machado said to McGill, and I freaking fouled them off. And I'm like, I don't know if it's the F word or the S word, but AC writes, expletive. What the F? I don't even know how I'm missing those pitches. It's right there. It's right where I want it, right where I'm looking. And yeah, I can't connect with it. And then AC goes into like Manny, and Manny's quotes are here. Manny, obviously, remember, he had the elbow surgery in October, didn't swing until mid-January. Ramp up, then there was the setback. He was only serving as the Padres DH, still feeling pain in the elbow late May. He was feeling better, starting to get in the groove. Then he has the hip flexor strain. So it's just like, it's kind of like the Xander thing, right? He was getting going, feeling better at the plate, and then boom, he gets hurt. Manny feeling better at the plate, boom, he gets hurt. Now, Manny's not on the IL, but it just sucks, the timing of it, right? And Manny says, I'm behind the 8 ball a little bit. I'm okay with it because I know where I'm going to be at the end of the day. But yeah, it's definitely not where I want to be. My swing is not there. My elbow is not letting me do the things I'm normally capable of doing. So I got to tweak things here and there. I've had to do a lot. I wish I could feel like I did last year or 2 years ago and feel that way. And obviously, right now, it's not. Remember, I want to point this out. Earlier in the year, Manny pretty much said, yeah, probably not going to get to 100% this year. Might have to be till next year. And if that's the case, then the Padres, they might be in trouble because Manny is such a big part of this team. I don't know. I don't know. Is he going to be able to find that slot? And that's what he mentions here. He can't find the slot to launch the ball on those pitches down the middle. He can't consistently find that slot to be able to fire and launch those balls on pitches that he should be launching. The elbow's not allowing him to do that. And if that's the case, then it's hard for me to sit here and, criticize Manny as hard as maybe other people would. I can criticize effort. I can say he should be better than what he's doing right now. He should be producing more than what he's doing right now. But if your elbow can't allow you to get into a certain slot to hit a baseball how you want to hit it and how you used to hit it, and you're trying to adjust, you're trying to find different things out, it's hard for me to just sit here and, bash Manny when he's trying to find a way to be better. He's obviously pissed off. And I'm going to read more of these quotes here. He is pissed off. He's tired of it. And he says here, I just can't get into my slot to launch the ball. You want to be able to get into your slot to drive the ball. I've had a pretty decent career on being able to be consistent with hitting the ball to right field and hitting the ball all over the place. But it's by being consistent with getting that back elbow in the right spot. My bat path is not where it needs to be right now. And so I'm not going to sit here and say like, oh man, he's eating McDonald's and he's not working on the bat path. The bat path. Like, no, he's working on it. He cares. He says here, I'm working in the batting cage before games. I'm trying to be consistent, trying to get that feeling, get that slot right. But once I step onto that field, it's about competing. You have your shot, you get your 2 pitches, you go for it. After that, it's like, okay, now what is the game calling for? I got runners on first and third here. I got to try to get this run in. Now you change your approach a little bit. You're not going for it anymore. It's the mentality of forget about what you worked on. You leave that in the cage. Now let's go out and compete. And this is 2 different things, but this popped in my head. Remember Bogarts, he was working on things, taking hundreds of swings in the cage, and then he'd go back to what he was doing. He'd revert back. And so maybe that's what Manny is doing here in some of these situations. In some of these don't try to go launch it situations, he's reverting back and can't get into that slot. Is that an issue? Can he get into the slot, get that feeling when it's in launch situations and he just doesn't get enough of those pitches? But again, like we've seen it plenty this year where he's not hitting those pitches. He gets those opportunities to do it and he just can't get into that slot. It seems like it's the elbow that's not allowing him to get into that slot. Manny says, "You're dealing with all these things, but then I got over that little hump. Then my legs got underneath me. My elbow started feeling better. I started getting into a better feeling. I started to swing better, started getting into the slot better, started feeling a lot better. And then, boom, my hip gets messed up. Now it's back to the grind." So you can imagine you're feeling good. You're working all this time with your elbow and trying to get into a good feeling. And so that takes work out of you. That takes reps from you pregame. And then you get a hip injury, and now you got to do a lot of rehab and work pregame to get ready for a game. And so maybe that's less work that I'm assuming here. Maybe it's less work that he's putting in, trying to get back into that slot or, just trying to maybe be on the field a little bit less because of that hip issue. And he wants to stay locked in. He says I think he talked about him wanting to be, like, still playing up top that level defensively, so he's still doing reps there. So maybe he needs to cut back a little bit on some of the work that he's doing, but if you're in that situation and you're trying to get out of it, it's probably hard for someone to sit there and say, "Manny, do less. Do less work." But Manny says here, this was the last quote from this article from Kevin that's available on the UT, by the way, the UT website. "Absolutely, I gotta play. Um, I'm assuming he says, "I'm effing frustrated. I'm effing pissed. I can't get there. I do think I found it. I think we made a couple adjustments that got me in the right direction, but I just can't get there. I got to get there. It's effing frustrating. I know it's going to be there. I'm just too effing good. I have to figure it out. I will figure it out. Even if I blow my effing elbow out again, I will figure it out." So, this quote right here, that's Manny. He's pissed off. He wants to win. He wants to be better. He feels like maybe he's going in the right direction, which is encouraging. But like he says here, I just can't get there. And so is that his elbow? Again, his elbow can't let him get there right now. And if that's the case, then yeah, it's going to be a long year still for Manny. And we're going to be in some trouble maybe if he physically can't get there. And this truly is a wait until 2025 year. That would suck. Because there's been a lot of weak contact that I've seen from Manny this year. And the elbow, it's a problem. No doubt it's a problem. But again, like the whole he doesn't care stuff, after reading this article, you're going to sit here and say that he doesn't care and you're still going to have that take. I hope you don't. I hope you don't. I know where that take comes from, right? Where he's not hustling all the time down the line. That's part of where that take probably comes from. And it's understandable. But I think he cares. He's not doing everything that the regular fan wants him, like, the regular fan wants him to play a certain way, and that's not how Manny's going to play all the time, if that makes sense. But he's frustrated. Now, him saying, "I have to figure it out, I will figure it out, even if I blow my effing elbow out again." Come on, Manny. Let's not blow your elbow out again. I know you want to figure it out, but if you blow your elbow out again and you figured it out, guess what? It doesn't matter because you blew your elbow out, your elbow out, right? So it's tricky. I'm sure that he wants to do a lot of work, but is him doing a lot of pregame work? Is that benefiting him when if he doesn't do as much? You still got to do work to try to get into that elbow slot, let's say, but is it harming him maybe he's doing too much work and save it for the game so that he is good, or at least as good as he can be health wise for the game? That's just something that I would throw out there. But there's a lot smarter people than I am in that clubhouse, probably, and the trainers and all that have probably brought that up. But when you're Manny and you're struggling offensively, it's probably hard to sit there and be like, "Yeah, I'm going to do less work and let's see if that ends up helping." That just doesn't feel like that's in the professional athlete's mind. That's just not what happens. I know in other areas of life, like if I was sucking at something and someone tries to say, just do it a little bit less and maybe you'll be better at it. I don't know. For me, I'm a repetition person. That just wouldn't work for me. Yeah, I'm gonna do it less and maybe it's gonna work. Maybe I'll be better at it by doing it less. I mean, come on. That just wouldn't really work. So that's the Manny situation right now. Hoping for the best.